Hello guys, come with me with building this realistic open forest for the timber rules. So let's get into it. So yeah guys, I'm back with another episode for One Habitat Wonder, of course. And yeah, we were we were gonna build for the Wolverine, but the thing is, with the Wolverine, it's kind of that a Wolverine. I'm sorry, but I just, when I think of a Wolverine, I think of like a little waterfall with like a mountain, and we did the mountain with also waterfall. So that's kind of getting into the repetitiveness. So I thought, let's just make another, let's just choose another animal. And then I was like kind of thinking, what animal could we do? Like I'm kind of feeling the hoofstock, but I can also just I can also build for carnivore. And then I thought, well, a little European North American animal uh, that likes, well, that is kind of, well, a little animal. And I thought of a raccoon, but that's another water feature because they usually like wash their food in water. So I went with the timber wolves. And I thought, yes, maybe I was kind of promising you guys a Wolverine, but it's kind of repetitive because another water feature with another with another mountain, and yeah, I was kind of not feeling that because I didn't want to do more rock work, and I'm pretty happy with the end result of this one because it uh, with like the pacing trails, I think it looks pretty nice. I was kind of struggling in the beginning with like the viewing points and the barriers, but then it all went well. It turned out great. So yeah, I'm really happy with the habitat, with the end result. And you guys are gonna see the building of it and also the end result because I have some after shots for you guys. But yeah, you can see that I was kind of struggling with like the viewing point because first I want to do like some cross section things and I wanted to make like a kind of like a roster like, but then I just decided to make the same thing, but then not like the beams sticking out, but just the beams inside of the thingy. And it turned out really nice. I think it's a bit, yeah, it's a bit. I think I could have done a bit better, but I wasn't like trying to get 20 minutes of a viewing point, so I just made the little one, and it turned out nice. It's a modern like viewing point. Yeah, I'm really happy with the end result actually, and that's basically it. So yeah, we're gonna build for Timberwolves, of course. I already said that, but Timberwolves are kind of a, well, the timber wolf, like the wolf in general. You have like you have a lot of wolves actually, but the European wolf is kind of like reintegrating into Europe. It has been like a long time that European wolf has kind of been like, well, it was always like in the kind of Scandinavian lands like just Norway and Sweden and Finland and all those like Poland and Denmark. But now the wolf is coming back to Belgium, Netherlands, and I think Germany also and France. I'm not really sure about France, but I'm really happy about that. But of course, with the wolf coming back, there's gonna be like more. Yeah, the farmers are gonna be like really annoyed by that because they're gonna, of course, attack their livestock. And yeah, with some good things, some bad things, and I think yeah, it's kind of debatable because, of course, farmers want their sheep, their cow, no, not sure cow. I think farmers want their like goats, sheep to be safe and not have the threat that the wolf can like attack them any moment. So they have a point, but I'm not sure if it's like that. Then just have better security on your fences or get like a guard dog. You know, look, I support farmers. I respect what they do. Of course, we need food, but the thing is, cannot like you cannot be so irritated by an animal because then it just tells you that you don't protect your livestock well enough. I know that the wolf is has like been gone for, I don't know, more than 100 years, I think. But you know, it's it is an animal that was in our in our circle of life. That sounds so weird to say, in our nature, and it's reintegrating. But then people want to hunt them, and yeah, that's of course illegal in my country. But there's hate on it, and it's a good story. And you see like people that aren't aware of wolves, and then they get attacked, or like they don't get attacked, but they let their kid like run in the forest, and then they get attacked because yeah, a wolf, of course, he's a little young like animal, like a no, yeah, human is, yeah, well, human is an animal, and it thinks, yeah, easy prey, easy target, so they go for the kid. And yeah, it's just, I think people need to be aware that there are like nature parks or places that wolves are now, so they can't like, they can't really, you just need to be like more protective, and need to be like more clearer that there are wolves around, and normally there are signages. But like in the Netherlands, there are like more and more sightings of a attack. So yeah, it's kind of double. Yes, the wolf is back. That's really nice, but also people and farms and animals haven't been in contact for a wolf for so long. So yeah, they haven't been in contact for so long that it's kind of, people don't look out for a wolf, or they're not used to for their like livestock to get attacked by a wolf, because wolves weren't around for so long, and now people have to like be aware of them, and have to be sure that the wolves can get to their livestock. It's just a really awkward situation to be in, because of course, nice, the wolf is back, but of course it comes with some kind of negative parts always, and that's really sad, because yeah, why does it always have to be like that? But yeah, we have to be happy that it's back. And yeah, of course, there are always going to be negative things, but yeah, that's kind of the situation right now in Europe with the wolf. But you can see that in the build. Let's just go to the build right now. So yeah, you can see that I started on the fence and the viewing points. I finished the viewing points and I started on the fence. I cut the fence work out for you guys, because it's just literally just placing a fence, turning it, placing a fence, turning it, placing a fence. And now I'm gonna do the inside. I was kind of messing up with the plaster. I'm not sure if you guys can see, but in the aftershots you will see that the green, it is a different color, but in the dark, like in the shadow of the ceiling, it doesn't look like a different color. It just looks the same, but in the sunlight it looks like a different color. But I wasn't feeling like changing it, because I was a bit tired, because this habitat actually took me 2 hours. I'm not sure why, because it doesn't look like it took 2 hours, but it took me 2 hours. Maybe it's just the fence work, or maybe it's just the fiddling around with this, what I'm doing now, like those little entry like things for the wolf, and I just couldn't select like the wood pieces. So it was just really annoying, because some things didn't want to work, and other things worked really well actually. But yeah, I'm just not sure why it did that. But yeah, nothing goes as smooth actually. So yeah, that's why it maybe took 2 hours, but I'm not really sure. So yeah, the wolf. I think, no. What am I? I think I have some facts, but I don't really have facts. I just, yeah. I have. Let's talk about mods, people. Mods. Um, the wolf has a remaster, and that's because they have like, the remaster is that they have more skins, because if you, I don't know if you like watch documentaries or like National Geographic type of things, but yes, you see gray timber wolves, but you also see black ones, brown ones, like white ones. And yeah, the realism in the animals is high in Planet Zoo, but not like that high. So you can see the differences between some animals, but other animals are just the same, but they don't really they don't have like different variants for like every animal. So in a species, they don't have like three other colorways or like a little different. No, they're just copy paste to a other like there are differences between, of course, males and females, but that's very easy for like hoofstock because they have antlers or horns. And yeah, it's just really sad to see that. But I hope in like Planet Zoo or in Planet Zoo 2 or in a new like pack or something, they would do that. But yeah, of course, I think we're gonna get a Planet Zoo 2 because we aren't gonna get well, if we get another pack, it's not gonna be like a final animal pack, because if we get a final animal pack, nobody wants to there in the beginning of Planet Zoo 2, nobody wants to buy that game because they have everything in the normal game. They have more animals, and the people are used to like the controls of the game that we play right now. So people won't like hop on Planet Zoo 2 for like a while, but when we start to get like more animals, and when a lot of people like creators start to hop over, then people will jump. But if we get like a big pack with a lot of animals, people won't like jump that directly because yeah, we have every animal, and people just don't, if they're used to the controls and we have every animal in this game and we get launched into a game but we don't have that many animals, people are gonna stay. That's just how people are, and how people are gonna act. And that's why they're not gonna release one, because yes, people say they're gonna release a big pack, a big final pack, but that is not gonna happen. Maybe there's gonna be a little one, and maybe I'm just all wrong. They're gonna add a lot of animals, but then they won't, like they will wait for Planet Zoo 2, and probably release the game with like a lot of animals. Maybe all the animals that you have now they will release, and maybe animals that aren't reused that like often they will remove, you know. So yeah, that's just kind of what I'm thinking about. But yeah, that's just my thinking way, you know, because yes, you have a lot of creators saying, well, maybe we'll get a big pack and then the next 3 months we're gonna get a new game. But I'm thinking, if you get a big pack, you're not gonna get a new game in 3 months. You're gonna get a new game in like a year, because when you get a new when you get new animals, a lot of them, people aren't gonna get so bored easily, and people are gonna keep playing the base game, like the first game, because they're used to the controls and they have every animal. And that's kind of the hard way to think, because these companies like Frontier, they just run on finance, and they run on profit. So it's kind of hard to understand like the way these companies run, because yes, they care about their community, but without they care because without the community they don't get sales, and without sales they don't make any money. So that's the way you have to think about this. And yes, it's hard to understand sometimes, but I think with this, with the situation we're in now, it's fairly easy, because Frontier wants to look. Just they released a chart, and in the chart you will see that Planet Zoo is their most profitable game. Yes, they have some new releases that go sky high but then die down, and that's kind of, if they release a Planet Zoo 2, they want to have that peak, but they want to keep the peak high. They don't want it to have die down. So they want to they want to have a lot of animals so people directly jump over. And that's basically what the way I'm thinking about it. But yes, it's controversial because they could have done it another way, or they gonna do it another way. Maybe we won't get a new game, but the whole base game will change. Yeah, that's just the thing you need to think about. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of the way. But yeah, well, I'll talk about this. Well, there's not really much to talk about because it or it's gonna be like how I see it, or it's gonna be way different. And that's and we don't know what Frontier is gonna do because we don't have any inside information, and I don't think you want any inside information because then everything is gonna spoil. But yeah, that's just the way I think it's gonna happen. Maybe there are some other opinions, but yeah, we will see. We will see what what Frontier will do. But that kind of wraps up the video. I kind of added those spacing trails and the foliage, but I think those enrichment pieces are the last thing. And I added some kind of detail on those like holding pens, those separations, but those are the last things. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Hope you enjoyed it. Enjoy the aftershots and subscribe. Goodbye, guys.